In the modern age of gaming, where we as consumers are constantly flooded with title after title, it's hard to know when something truly special has come along. When games like Destiny 2 and Mass Effect dominate social media, have massive budgets, and seemingly endless marketing, it's hard to get the word out about games like Salt and Sanctuary, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and of course, Divinity Original Sin 2. If you haven't heard about this turn-based RPG from Larian Studios by now, chances are that you're not going to, and that's a shame. What Divinity has done for their arm of the RPG genre is in a way similar to what Demon's Souls and really Dark Souls did for action RPGs. I don't think I'm overselling that. Divinity Original Sin 2 grants the player a large amount of freedom and seeks to restrict player choice as little as possible. With a very hands-off approach, inevitably comes a lot of failure, trial and error, and ultimately a very rewarding success. It also breeds a lot of community involvement and discussion as players seek to find answers for the monumental amount of questions they invariably have. Can you escape the fort without violence? What happens if I kill everyone and then help Gawin escape? Can Magister Sang be saved? Mixed in with fantastic gameplay, intense difficulty, memorable music, and voice acting, it is without a doubt a formula for almost certain success. Let's dive into these aspects of the game and see what makes Divinity Original Sin 2 so special. At the heart of every great game is the gameplay. Some games can survive alone on this one aspect, and those without it find they may fall into the abyss, never to be seen again. Divinity Original Sin 2 expands on its already tried and true formula and gives you very simple instructions on the rules of the game. The only rules that really matter are these: what a man can do or what a man can't do. After that has been established, the only thing really limiting you is a few flags needed to make sure the game does progress and doesn't break, and the imagination of the player. I could give you countless examples and blow your mind, but this is one of the most intriguing aspects about Divinity. The combat system in Divinity is turn-based, slow-paced, but at the same time very enjoyable and challenging. Every skill your characters possess has their unique features, and they can be combined to create greater effects. Not a single one of them is completely useless, and some less powerful skills in one build can be totally insane in another. While in combat, the battleground can be altered and utilized, and completely turn the tide in many cases, as you generally need to control the battlefield, not just focus on your enemies. Also, the interactions between environmental features has been vastly expanded from the previous title, allowing you to design your own combat strategies and make some impossible battles just a little less challenging. And not just battles either. There's a door you cannot get through? Have you tried killing one of your party members and resurrecting them on the other side? Divinity is the game that rewards those who think and be creative. The quest system in Divinity Original Sin 2 also shines. There are tons of quests, secrets, and puzzles in almost every main region of the game. Some are beautifully fleshed out and webbed together so you can immerse yourself into the world Larian Studios has created for us. Some require you to have a sharp mind and watchful eye, and nearly every quest can be solved in different ways. Play the cold-hearted murderer or noble hero, it's up to you. Divinity is not a trail where all you can do is follow what the game designers want you to do. In Divinity Original Sin 2, players decide what to do, and the designer merely provides the stage for you. Sounds like classic RPG games like Fallout 2 or Baldur's Gate, right? True, but there's more. The character customization in Divinity Original Sin 2 far exceeds its predecessor by assigning different tags to your characters. Using these tags provides each character with additional dialogue options that would otherwise not exist. You can really make the backstory of each character matter in a gameplay manner and largely affect your playthrough in a good way. What's more, the multiplayer mode in Divinity Original Sin 2 is a great success. You can challenge other players in an online arena or play the story mode with a group of friends. To make people even more excited, there's the Game Master mode in Divinity that allows you to create your own adventures. The devs offer a lot of tools for you to make your own dungeons, structures, weather, music, characters, events, etc. And with Steam Workshop, you can share your adventures with players all around the world. The story of Divinity Original Sin 2 provides a solid ground for an epic adventure, even though players may not be familiar with the story of the previous title and setting of this world. Divinity soon captures you with its outstanding writing, fantastic voice acting, and brilliant world design. Like games such as Dark Souls' story, it manages to make you feel immersed within game lore and story in an intelligent fashion. The more you explore this world and its vast secrets and mysteries, the more you feel interested in it. However, it isn't required. While the story and setting are probably the least intriguing elements of Larian's games, they manage to do enough here that you are not disappointed. Speckled with subtle humor, the dialogue of certain characters and item descriptions are sure to give you a good chuckle. One can't help but feel that people who take making their games very seriously are not so serious after all, and that simply adds to the mystique of Divinity. The graphics of Divinity Original Sin 2 may not be as good as some AAA games, however it's still sufficient for players to enjoy and get lost inside the fantasy world. It very much looks as though they used the same engine from the first game, with some slight graphical improvements. I'm not sure if you can classify this as disappointing or whether it's simply the logical thing to do, but there you have it. The music of Divinity Original Sin 2 is actually quite impressive. Its style perfectly fits the vibe of the game, and you may just want to stay in the main menu so you can listen to the beautiful melody of the main theme. I know I have. On the voice acting front, it's hands down some of the best I have ever heard. It may actually be the best. A huge improvement from the precursor, and against all odds, Larian Studios managed to include full voice acting for every NPC and every character in a game that features a tremendous amount of dialogue and narrating. Outstanding. Divinity Original Sin 2 takes the already high bar set by its predecessor and somehow deadlifts it to even greater heights. Larian has proven that it knows exactly how to make the game that everyone wants, because they are the gamer everyone else is. Divinity Original Sin 2 doesn't do anything complicated or confusing, it simply delivers what players want in a game. Challenge, creativity, freedom, and of course the ability to share all that with your BFFs. As it stands now, Divinity Original Sin 2 is the frontrunner for RPG of the Year. For $44.99, this game is vastly underpriced, and is perhaps one of the few games out there that actually justifies a $59.99 price tag.